Good morning. This is Derek Demore with Futures Demore and Futures Networks Live. We're here to go over opening bell and the rest of the day, see how it can make you positive points for breakfast. And it was a good morning, making positive points in all three markets, the Russell, the NASDAQ, and the S&P. Guess what? Here we go. Oh, this is my announcer voice from the wild side. Anyway, so the proprietary signals were for a long. I also liked that we were going sideways for a while. We were just above the 10-period EMA. Wanted a little bit of a discount, so got in at 63.50. I put that in about a minute before opening bell started. And you can see that we had one of these candlesticks that went both directions, but at 63.50, that gave us up to 68. So that's 4.5 points. And that was a good trade. Then you could have, and I thought about this, is that I would have wanted my stop about 0.5 point below this double tap. And then I was thinking, a lot of people lately have been telling me, Randy in particular, that you put your next limit order or where you want to get in on your next trade right where you want your stop. And so I was thinking, man, so 58.50, if I get in, that would normally stop me out, but that's where I would want to get in. And sure enough, it comes down to 58.25 and then goes up to 70. So that getting in there at 58.50 and taking my 4.5 points in the first trade, then getting back in at 58.50, that went all the way up to 70. So that's I would have probably gotten out at 68 again, but that's 4 plus 10 almost. So that's 13 to 14 points very quickly. So we'll come back to the dailies and what the market's going to do from here. But really good time, some RSI divergence especially on the M2K. So that was probably the best trade of the morning. Let me show you that right now. So on the M2K, you can kind of see, and I didn't get in where I wanted to. I wanted to get in at 2100 back here, but we were thinking, okay, I'll wait for the opening bell trade, and I did. In another account, I got in, where was it, like 2102-ish, 2102.5, I think right here, and took about 8 points up in this run. But there's a reason why I liked long, and you go back to the 4-hour, and you can see this divergence where the 4-hour is coming down, and you had 3 taps at this declining move. I mean, the move is huge, right, from back in the morning, but you had this declining move, and then the RSI is showing it. Look at this, down at 12 and 11. Then you had this increasing RSI with lower lows. So to me, that was the third tap, and that's usually when you get a turnaround. So I thought, hey, this is a great spot. S2 touches the channel down. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to get in right there on the 4-hour. And sure enough, that was a really good entry. Didn't really go much against me. 2105, I got out here, and I could have had, let's see, 2105 up to 17. Could have been 12 points. I took 7.5 because I was trading 3 markets at the same time. And then it only went against me 2102. The reason is I thought 2100 is the psychological line in the sand. So this trade to me was my favorite one of the day so far. So we'll look at the dailies later so that we can recap what's going to happen for the whole day. But so far, super positive points for breakfast. Let's look at the NASDAQ. So with the NAS, again, I'd been in earlier on a turnaround here and made a few points going this way, but opening bell, I put an order down and then got in on a DCA because I wasn't too afraid of the market. I don't know why. And then I got back half of my contracts right away because I didn't, that's just how when I DCA, I get out of the other 2 just to keep myself safe. And then if it did what it was going to do, I got out of 1 at 19 and then ultimately 1 at 34.75. So the average was down at 700. So it was a 35-point run, which was really nice. So I just thought, you know, all these markets
Stop
were
fill.
easily tradable. I think I'm in a fun trade right now that just got stopped out, but that's okay because I'm not managing it. So I think I could have had positive points on it. But anyway, let's look at the dailies. We'll start with the MNQ since we're on it and see kind of where we're going. I think I missed a bunch last night, but I think I'm going to give the two ranges now because of how volatile these markets are. Well, again, trading, you know, what you think versus what you see can get you in trouble. And I'll be the first to admit that, you know, this is what I thought based on stimulus coming in and everything, that we were going to go up and touch 13.4 and then pull back to this diamond. Well, it was going that way. And then end of day, man, it just decided to go back down to the 12.8 that we had talked about many times, 12.79, 12,790. So if I was smart enough, I would have put, you know, one down. I probably would have put it in this area right around 12.8. Now, this kicks over. It goes up to the Bollinger, to the
Stop
10
fill.
period EMA. Looks like we're going back to this region Y with ultimately this line at 12,655. That's just what I see. Now, the minute that we break that, man, there is not much keeping us from touching 12.4 or the 2 sigma somewhere down here. I think we'll probably get a touch and a pullback here based on looking left, but we shall see. So my call right now is that I don't know about end of day. I mean, end of day could be, I'm going to do two things here. Hold on one sec. All right. Going big. This is a small candle. It could stay small today, just like this one, range bound, and that's possible. But I see once it breaks out one direction or the other, we're going extreme. So let's find out. So before I change yesterday, it did end up. I mean, it ended up right. I had the channel drawn a little different yesterday. I moved it over now, and it's touching. So I think we're going to get a bounce back now. We're just hitting 2100. We could come down to this wick on the daily and the 89 period. I think that's going to be the bottom potentially, and then a pullback. Oh man, let's see here. So try not to overthink this market. We are way oversold. So pulling back could end the day maybe right in this area after some back and forth movement. But this would be my number one call, would be right here in the 2150 area. So we shall see. So the S&P 500, that was my call. We ended on the other extreme. I would have honestly had this right here if I had put the two sides. It was, for me, it was one extreme or the other. But I thought we were going to be up here with the stimulus. I think the stimulus is hitting. I think people are going to put money in. So I don't really see this, you know, I mean, it could potentially be there, but now, you know, kind of right in this area is where I'm looking at. So maybe even a little higher, back to, you know, probably where I was yesterday is probably where we're going to end up today. Maybe, you know, I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen, but we'll see. So I think we've kind of bottomed out for now. Otherwise, we're gonna go way down, which is possible. We're not as oversold as the other markets, but you know, that's how the dailies work. And we've touched some key support patterns. The 4 hour could definitely go below. Oh, the one thing I wanted to talk about is, are we going to hit Stoney's call now and Derek's call later, or are we going to bounce and go back up? Very interesting. So if we do, then all my predictions should be for shorts going forward most of the time. So this is just something we're going to keep an eye on. I mean, we're talking April, like what is that, April 8th or something for me, and roughly April 1st for Stony. So it'll be fun to see. All right, thanks for being with Futures to More and Futures Networks Live. We're doing cryptos now. We're doing a lot of fun stuff. So come join us, check us out. and watch the linked videos, subscribe and like, and we'll continue to make positive points for breakfast and at opening bell. I'm getting more and more comfortable in trading that time, and had a lot of success lately. I would say about 85% positive points in the morning. So thanks for being with us. Have a great day.